Hello there, welcome to my channel. Today we are gonna create a whole building from a single image. Is that amazing? If you want to see more tutorials, subscribe to my channel and leave a like on this video. Without any further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that we have to do is enable an add-on called Import Images as Planes. So we are gonna do that by going into Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and search for Planes. Here you will see Import Images as Planes. Enable it, and save your preferences. Now we are going to add an image of a building. So click Shift+A, Images, and Images as Planes. And right now I have my textures here. I will leave a link to this in the description. Now I am gonna select this image over here. Now we have that image imported as a plane. You can see that we can't see the image right now. That is because we are in solid mode. So change it to material preview mode, and right now we can see our image. Now click R and rotate the image in the X-axis to 90 degrees. Now scale the image a little bit by clicking S on the keyboard. Something like this. Now click G and Z and move it up to the grid in the Z-axis. In the next step we will be adding several loop cuts to some place to extrude it. For example, these windows should be extruded in. These parts of the buildings should be extruded out. We are doing this to add some geometry to the building. So go into Edit mode and go into Face Select mode. Now add some loop cuts to the buildings like this. As you can see, I added loop cuts to the edge of these parts. Do the same to the windows. I'm fast forwarding this part. And also add loop cuts to the frames of the window. Now we have completed the process. But we need to have loop cuts only for the parts that we will extrude. So until you get something like this, go ahead and select the unwanted edges which we will not extrude. Now click X, and click Dissolve Edges. Now we have completed the brain squashing part. Now go to Face Select mode and select these parts of the buildings. And press E and Y to extrude them out in the Y-axis. Now select these window panes. Extrude them in. Now we have completed extruding. But as you can see, there is this weird stretching in the textures. So go into UV editing mode, and if we click A in the right window we can see our UV map. Now switch into Looked mode and select those faces which you want to correct. Now click U on the keyboard to bring up the UV mapping option, and now click Smart Projection. Now select the faces one by one and adjust their UVs. We can scale them down and move them here like this. And scale them on the Y-axis. Just play around until it looks fine. Now repeat these steps for every wall. Now we have completed adjusting the UVs. Now we can make the textures a bit realistic. Right now it looks flat. We can add like bumps to the walls and reflections to the windows. So now, go into shading mode, and we can delete these three shaders and replace them with a principled shader. Now connect the image texture output into the base color, and the BSDF output into the surface. Now I'm gonna duplicate this image texture, and click this button to make a copy of that image. And change it to non-color data. Now add a color ramp. And connect the texture into the factor, and the color ramp into the roughness. Now flip the colors in the color ramp, and adjust them until you are happy. Now we have some reflection in the windows and some parts of the bricks. Now duplicate the image texture. Change the image to the bump texture. The links for these images will be in the description. Now add a math node. Connect the math node with displacement, and the bump texture with the second input of the math node. Right now our building has some depth to it. But it is too much. So let's change it to multiply. And let's change the value to -0.2. I'm not satisfied with the result, so let's change it to -0.3. Okay, now it looks pretty good. Now we are going to add some reflection to the windows. Go to the Materials tab, and add a new material, click New. And add an image texture. And open the building image. Connect it to the base color. Now we want this material only to the windows. Now go into edit mode and select these windows. And assign it to this new material. Now change the roughness to 0. Now we can see the window is reflective. Now to make it a bit more realistic, I'm going to add some dust to the windows. So duplicate the image texture and select the dust overlay. Connect it to the roughness. Now we have completed it. But if you want to make a whole building, just duplicate this and rotate this and you can create a whole building with this one side. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, make sure to subscribe and leave a like on this video. Until then, bye.